where the West begins in Fort Worth, Texas, to around the globe. You are listening to Talk in the Night. And now, your host, Paranormal Phil. Thank you, and good evening, good morning, wherever you may be around the world, around the globe, or even in your own backyard. I am Paranormal Phil, and this is the last show of this week of shows for veterans. And tonight is a special Friday night open lines. Normally it's a regular Friday night open lines unless there's a special holiday, but since we are doing a whole week of shows for veterans, figured I'd do a special Friday night open lines where veterans can call in, share their stories, experiences, or even questions that they might have. Also, we'll have regular Friday night open lines tonight too, where people can call in, share their stories, experiences, and questions about the paranormal or any other topic that the show covers. So before we get into tonight's show and open up the phone lines, first up on the Talk in the Night website, talkinthetonight.com, under the story of the day, U.S. Military Academy at West Point has a supernatural side. The buildings at West Point, the U.S. Army's Military Academy, have a dark look to them, from textured granite, turrets, gargoyles perched on top, large wooden doors, and dimly lit hallways. Over the years, cadets have said they have felt the feeling of being watched by unseen presence only for no one to be around. Others have reported seeing apparitions in the middle of the night. These have been reported for quite a while and were frequent during the 1970s. In 1972, there was a lot of interest from the paranormal community, such as demonologists, ghost hunters, and psychic mediums, all because of a well-documented apparition. The event took place in October 1972 in room 4714 at 2 a.m. The apparition gained the nickname The Pusher because of its ice-cold presence. Now, of course, you can read that full story up on the Talking Night website by clicking on the link below the story, and it will take you right to the original story, and you can read everything about it. Also, tonight and this weekend is your last chance to get 20% off store-wide and the Talking the Night merch store on everything. T-shirts, drinkware, accessories, all that good stuff. So make sure that you use the promo code HONOR22 at checkout to get 20% off store-wide at the Talking the Night merch store. Again, you got till midnight Sunday night, early Monday morning to get all that. So let's get into the open line. So if you do want to call into the show, use the Skype name Talking the Night, or by phone at 817-717-1280, or go over to Spreaker.com. Sign up for a free account. It don't cost a thing. You don't have to record anything. And you can join the discussion, join the chat, ask your questions, or share your stories or experiences there. Now, like I said, tonight we are doing a special Friday night open lines where I want to hear from the veterans, share their stories and experiences from the military service, and I will talk a bit about mine. Now, I was in near the end of the first Persian Gulf War, so it's been a while since I've been out of the service. I got out in 98, and a lot of the veterans that were on the show that ran veteran organizations, they were in post 9/11. Oops, I think I shared it to my thing again. I meant to hit something else, but I'm sharing the thing around while I'm talking. But so I was in the Navy, and I had a good time to a certain extent while I was in, and I I had some good times. I had some bad times. The good times were being able to visit many different ports in Spain, France, Italy, Turkey, Greece, Israel, Portugal, the Caribbean. No, I'm not Jack Sparrow. But we did get chance to, I think my ship was the last back then. I don't know if they have it open anymore to U.S. service members, especially in the Navy. But my ship was the last ship to be able to visit Jerusalem. So I got a chance to experience some of the stuff there as a U.S. service member before I got out. Now, probably one of the best foods that I've ever experienced overseas would be smash sandwiches in southern France. I wish I could have gone to some other places that are more touristy, but I didn't get a chance to go to places like Paris. I didn't get a chance to go to Rome when I was in Italy or Venice. But I did get to experience a lot of the old, got a chance to experience a lot of the old different towns and the old country, basically, where they're still living in earlier times, or at least the buildings are. So, I mean, if you get a chance to visit Europe, definitely go to the off-beaten path and check out some of the stuff that is not a tourist trap or tourist attraction, because you'll appreciate the country a little bit more. Now, as far as some of my experiences while on board ship, I mean, we would do skeet shooting off the back of the ship, which was interesting when the ship's bobbing up and down. That's fun trying to shoot a skeet clay while the ship is going up and down and sideways. It definitely, if you are not a marksman, you're firing at and hoping you get lucky to hit it. We did shoot a couple of basketballs off the ship on the fantail, as we call it, where the ship was able to land helicopters. We did not. I was on a smaller ship, so we did not be able to land aircraft, but we could land a helicopter on the ship. I have to watch what I am saying because I can only mention some things. I do still, to this day, have a higher security clearance because of some of the stuff that I was close to and knew about, even though it's a little more known. It was a nuclear ship. I can't mention how many, even though it's been decommissioned since the late 90s. Let's see. Some of the things that we did when we were on board, you could not get away with in today's military. It would be considered hazing. But we did have wrestling matches on board the ship. Yes, we got thrown into steel doors, body slammed onto steel grates. I almost accidentally killed somebody because a wrestling match. I had did a scissor across with my legs across somebody's chest, and I lean my head back to put as much pressure as I could to get him to tap. And I did not know that my legs had slipped around his throat. But luckily, we had somebody there kind of referee and everything. So he was able to stop me from killing a service member. But it was all by accident. But we were tough back then. Of course, I was in a hell of a lot better shape than I am now. For PT, we would have to run 1.5 miles for our physical training while in the service. And I started off the starting line with a cigarette in my mouth. I started sprinting, and when I was on the starting line, people are like, "You're not going to last long. You're going to die out halfway through," because I was smoking a cigarette while getting ready to start. And then when they saw me sprinting, they're like, "Oh, he's going to die halfway through, maybe even a quarter way through." And turns out there was only one other person that beat me that day, because I had run 1.5 miles and 10 flat. And when you spread off the line while smoking a cigarette, you expect to be out of breath. And of course, I was not. The only person that beat me was somebody that was in better shape than me and did not smoke. But people were more or less just trying to beat the time that they had to beat, whereas I was trying to prove something that I was in good shape back then. Of course, now I am not in that good shape. I don't think I'll ever be in that good shape ever again. But, I mean, because of all the stuff that I did when I was younger, I'm surprised that I am still in the shape that I am, to where I can move around. Now, I did have some scarier times when I was in the service, and one of them is that we were doing a live missile test off somewhere down in the Caribbean, off an island. I don't know where. Even if I knew where, I probably couldn't tell you. But yeah, there was a line of ships firing missiles, guns, everything, you name it, onto this island for test firing. And of course, I was out there watching on the smoking deck, watching them shoot off these missiles and hitting the island. Well, I'm out there watching them fire and seeing one of these missiles come back at us and skipping off of the water. And luckily it landed about 50 yards, I want to say about 50 yards off our port bow. So that was probably one of the scariest things. We did finish fishing off of the back of the fantail, the back of the ship. For those that do not know military lingo. And we were catching some good sized fish off there. So, I mean, we did have a lot of great times. I really didn't get to see much as far as a lot of things, because we did stop in a lot of ports. We were mainly the carrier's escort, since we were the only ship that could keep up with it. because all the other ships were diesel powered, and our ship was the only one that was nuclear powered, along with the carrier. So, last experience I will mention about my time in is on the last cruise. I think it was the U.S. George Washington Battle Group. The carrier had lost somebody over the side of the ship, or maybe it was them, maybe it was another ship. I think it was the carrier, though. And, of course, the other ship, we were headed back to port for the last time, or at least my last time. And they lost somebody overboard, and they searched as long as they could. We all searched, but my ship was the only ship that had to stick around in the middle of the Atlantic looking for the sailor that went overboard and hoping to find him, because we were the only ones that could catch up to the carrier group. And, of course, we never found the person that went overboard. And to this day, I don't know if the story is true, but we did search for overnight, basically 24 hours, and found nobody. So, rest in peace to that sailor. But those are some of the experiences that I had. Now, like I said, tonight is a special Friday night open lines where if you are a service member or you're a veteran and want to share some of your experiences, I don't expect anybody to go over some of their rougher times, because I know people deal with it different, and some of the things some of the soldiers have seen, I don't expect you to share that kind of information, because it might bring up bad memories, trigger your PTSD. But if you want to share your stories and think you can handle, or you want to share your good times in the service, I welcome that. Because I do want to honor those serving in this country. Again, tonight is Friday night open lines where you can call in and share your stories, or you can go over to Spreaker.com and join the chat. Now, when you sign up for a free account, search for Talking the Night, click on the live show, and there is a chat bar there. If you click on that chat bar and type in your message, you can say hi, let me know you are listening. If you're listening post-show when I'm not live, thank you also for listening in. But if you try to call in, there is no calling in. I will not answer the call when I'm not live. So till 11 o'clock Central Time here in Fort Worth, Texas, that's the time that you got to call in, only when I'm live. Otherwise, I do not answer the phone when I'm not live. So again, if you want to call in, share your stories, experiences, questions about anything that the show covers, or the special topic of tonight, I welcome that. So let's get into some of questions from different things, and I will try to pay attention to the chat as much as possible. But when I don't have somebody calling in or something like that, it's a little more difficult to pay attention to the chat. But I will check it every once in a while. Like after I go through a question, I'll check it during that time. But let's get into, since we are talking about veteran stuff, let's find a good one here. This is from pebforums.com /forum/veterans affairs, SDI and other benefits. And let's find a good one here. Okay, let's do this one. Since I did have trouble when I was applying for disability, I had fought the government for about, and the VA for a little over 6 years, just trying to get more disability, and it's difficult. But there are people out there that can help you. Now I am at 100% unemployability with 80% regular VA disability, so it gives me time to do this show and everything like that. But this says, "Hello all, I am honorably discharged 19th D Cavalry Scout and MP and have decided to apply for disability after 27 years arrested, resisting the urge to do so. Always felt the shame whenever I thought of asking the VA for anything. That being said, here is my situation in a nutshell. I am a veteran who separated honorably in the Army in 1994. I was diagnosed with Wolff Parkinson's White syndrome shortly after entering the Army in 1990. Excuse me. I was sent for ablation surgery, and I think I pronounced that right, at Letterman Army Medical Center at the Presidio of San Francisco in the summer of 1991. I underwent the ablation procedure and was sent back to my unit, cleared for duty. I served with no issues until my discharge in 1994. During this time, I noticed bouts of shortness of breath and chest tightness and dizziness, but I did not link it to my WPW. In 1998, I attempted to go back in active duty after completing college. I was examined for re-entry at the MEP station in Anchorage, Alaska. My examination confirmed that I was still symptomatic for WPW, which is Wolff Parkinson White syndrome, and was barred from entering active duty. I was also ineligible to work in law enforcement field due to my condition. And since I was trained as a military policeman, I lost the ability to work in my chosen field. I have never pursued VA disability benefits due to lack of understanding what I was entitled to, and always felt that others soldiers were more deserving than I. And we talked about this on Monday, so if you do relate to this story here, go back and check Monday's show, because, I mean, there are a lot of people out there that think, oh, that I'm not that bad off, the others deserve it more. And I got my disability not too long after, a few months after I got out of service for my back. And over the years, it's got worse, and trying to fight the VA now for more to get it up to 100% completely. It's been a difficult road, but I am still fighting for it, because it is something that I fought for. I earned it, well, not by my choice of earning it. I'd rather be in good shape like I was in the military, but that I can't change. But again, continuing on, it says, as I gotten older, my symptoms have gotten worse, and I experience arrhythmia more often than, let's see, I want to make sure that I am on the right. I worry about having an attack during exercise or while driving. I also wish to seek claims for a 1992 incident at Fort Richardson, Alaska, where I was rendered unconscious in a training accident. I was literally run over by a soldier on a military sled at high speed. Witness report that I was thrown in the air and came down on my head. I woke up in an ambulance and being transported to McCord Air Force Base for treatment. And I'm not going to read this whole thing, but what I would say to that person is talk to a veteran service officer and ask them to help you. Now, I don't know where this soldier is, but like here, I found a good VSO in Dallas that was able to help me. I got up to 80%, but this one in Dallas helped me get the unemployability earlier this year, and I am doing what I can. I still struggle, as you can tell. Still have trouble talking, but that's because I've been tired the past couple of days. This weather, I mean, it rained earlier, so I'm a little tired and exhausted. So, yeah, I would recommend talking to a VSO, talking with your primary care doctor, making sure all this is documented, because it is documented in your military service record. So if you go to your doctor, explain what's going on if you haven't done already, and make sure that all that is documented, and that way you can get the treatment, but also with all that in your military, in your medical records, it will help you in the process, the exam process, to hopefully get what you need. And if you do not get what you need, you're not getting the care that you need, go to a patient advocate. I mean, if you want to, you can talk to a VA disability lawyer that knows the ins and outs of the VA law. But first, I would recommend going to a VSO and talking to them first. And like I said, if you're not getting the treatment that you deserve, talk to a patient advocate. I mean, it took me going to a patient advocate and my congresswoman, which I don't trust the government, but I went to them, and they were able to, for my tremors, and they were able to tell the VA, if you do not give this guy an MRI to find out what is going on, you are going to lose some of your funding. Not the whole VA, but they're going to lose some of their funding. And the VA stepped it up. And sometimes you have to do that, but I mean, like I said, get the treatment that you need and talk to a patient advocate, talk to a VSO, because they will help steer you in the direction. Now, if you don't think that the VSO is doing you good, you can always go to another person. As my guest Mike Buchanan said on Monday, if you do not feel that you're getting the care from your doctor, you can request a new doctor. A lot of people don't know that. You can request a new doctor. I didn't know it until Monday when I talked to Mike Buchanan. So I always learn something new. And it's great doing the show and be able to learn that. But we are at the first commercial break. Also, remember, go over to talkingthenight.com, click on the store tab, and it'll take you to the merch store, take you to the different things up there. You click on one of those designs, it'll take you to the merch store. And when you buy something from the store, use Honor22 at checkout and get 20% off of merchandise store-wide. You only have till Sunday at midnight. So we'll be right back after the short commercial break with more Friday Night Open Lines. We'll be right back.
I love talking on the phone.
Do you have a talk radio, Facebook Live, or YouTube show and would like guests for your show but don't know where to go to get them? Well, go to radioguestlist.com and sign up today. They have all different experts in different fields, and you can find the ones that are just right for your show. That's radioguestlist.com. Sign up today. It's free.
To advertise on Talk in the Night, send an email to talkinthe.night@outlook.com. Talk in the Night has plans to fit your budget. Get your product or business heard around the world by the Talk in the Night listening audience. Plans include 30-second spots and banner ads on the show's website and mentioned on the social media sites. So get your product or business heard around the world today. In honor of Memorial Day, Talk in the Night will be offering 20% off store-wide on the Talk in the Night merch store for the week of May 30th through June 5th only. So go to talkinthe.night.com and click on the store tab and use the promo code HONOR22 at checkout and show your support for the show and the veteran that hosted.
I sat for an hour and thought about the lies I would tell you, 'cause I couldn't stand losing face. I just gotta see you.
To call into the show, Skype Talk in the Night or by phone at 817-717-1280. Now back to Talk in the Night with your host, Paranormal Phil.
Okay, and we are back with the Friday night open lines where you can call in and share your stories, experiences, or questions about the paranormal. Also, you can share your stories and experiences from your military service. If you are a veteran, today is the day to do it. I mean, if you want to do it any other Friday night, that's fine too, but that I'm live. But tonight is a special Friday night open lunch, finishing this week off of shows for veterans. And I know a friend talked about, it was Memorial Day, why you mentioned veterans. Well, we were military personnel before we got out. And Memorial Day is for those that died in service to this country, but they're also honored even if they're veterans and buried in the national cemeteries. So it is honored to those that have lost their life, that have served this country and sacrificed. So that's why I'm doing the shows on veterans, for veterans. And talking about just this week. Now we'll do another week of shows during Veterans Day week. But I mean, I don't do them that often. Now, if you want to call into the show, use the Skype name Talk in the Night or by phone at 817-717-1280 or go over to Spreaker.com, sign up for a free account. It don't cost a thing. You don't have to record anything. When you click on Talk in the Night, click on the live show and then scroll down just a little bit. You'll see a chat bar. You'll see a message in there that says welcome to the show in the chat. Join in to discussion or just say hi and let me know you're listening. That's all you have to do if you want. If you don't want to ask a question, just type in hi and let me know you are listening. I do welcome it. Now, before the break, we were talking about the person that was dealing with a disability and wondering if they should file for that disability claim. Now, I did mention my guest on Monday, Mike Buchanan, if you go to the Talking the Night website, talkingthenight.com, and click on the banner ad at the top of the page that, let me get to it, that says Charlie Mike with Mike Buchanan. Click here. Check it out by clicking here. And if you click on that, it will take you right to his podcast that he does on YouTube. But you can also ask him questions, I guess, during the live stream, I think. Or in the description, he has contact information where you can get a hold of him at the VA, and he can help you along there too as well. So, let's get into a paranormal question here. And I'm going to check the chat real quick. So let's go to paranormalist.com and let's see, what do I want to go? Because there are different topics on here as well, but I do want to get into a paranormal question first, and then we'll get into other things. But let's see. I'm trying to think. Let's go to cryptozoology and mythical beings. And nothing is scripted on the show. It is, when you hear me looking through the things, I am looking through it and going right off of the top of my head. And so no answer is scripted. Excuse me. No answer is scripted. No answer is pre-planned. I don't pre-read the question or anything like that. So I'm just going off of it and using my experience. So let's go to this one. It says, where are the mole people? Are mole people held hostage by Mexican cartels for the tunnel digging ability, or did cartels spook them away from finding a new use of their natural habitat? Okay, I think that one was more satirical than anything. So I don't think that was really a paranormal question, really. So let's go to this one. What are black-eyed children? Black-eyed children. Black-eyed children are ghoulish creatures. Oh, sorry, I got a text that I was looking at real quick. Sorry, I got too many things going on. I got 2 computers, a phone, mixing board, my mic, everything like that. So I got a lot of equipment here. But continue on. Black-eyed children are ghoulish creatures who have been trying to gain entrance to our homes and vehicles since 1996. They usually appear at night, knocking on doors and windows and begging to be let inside. Unfortunately for the children, they are almost always rejected since an aura of terror clings to them. UFO alien nuts should be familiar with their next little creatures. Unlike fairies, there are more belief in black-eyed children. Is this because we did not grow up on the tales of black-eyed children? During our childhood, we held fascinations with fairies and other little creatures and believing they were real. And a lot of people don't know about black-eyed children. I do believe they are possibly a hybrid of extraterrestrial. I could be wrong. The one comment here says, I am actually serious. Some politicians seem to have black eyes. Makes you wonder. Which, like I said, I do believe that they are of extraterrestrial in nature, a hybrid, if you will. I don't think they are completely human. I mean, it could be that they are even possessed in a sense. It could be that too. You never know. But black-eyed children are real. I've seen plenty of videos. Now, yes, videos, photos, they all can be faked. I've learned a lot when I was taking college classes to do radio, television, film. So I did learn a little technique on making something look like it's real, but it's not. I actually did a thing where I made it look like my demon side was in the mirror looking at myself as I'm looking away. And the way I did that was 2 separate photos and kind of spliced them together. Now, of course, that technology is a lot easier these days than it was back in the day, because you had to actually cut the film at a certain spot and kind of overlap the negative to make it look like 2 different images just right. Now there's computer programs like Premiere Pro and After Effects where you can do video, or Photoshop where you can splice photos. I mean, heck, the photo that I did where I talked about me looking different in the mirror versus me on outside the mirror was actually done with the app. And yes, that was fake. I made sure that I mentioned it was fake, in a sense, because I didn't want people believing that that it was real. And if anybody asked, I would have basically told them that, it's not real. It's fake. But it can be done these days. So you have to be careful what you look at. And that's why when I'm answering these questions, I try the best that I can, because I can't hear the person talking. I can't kind of read their voice, or I can't see them to where I can say, okay, I know that they're telling a lie, or I know they're telling the truth. I can't do that because I don't have that ability. So I'm going off of what they're talking about and try to answer it the best that I can from my experience in the paranormal field, and also learning different techniques for even faking stuff, which I don't like to do unless I know I'm making a joke about it. But otherwise, yeah, it's something not that I really do. Now, let's stay on that same website, but let's go mentioning about technology. Let's go to science and technology on that same form and find something there to talk about that, because, again, my show, yes, I talk about the paranormal a lot because I do have a lot of experience in that field, and I can talk about it a lot easier than I can about something in technology or science or health or wellness or whatever. But I am I consider myself a jack of all trades and be able to understand different things and learn a little bit about each thing. So that way I can help people the best that I can. Or if I have a guest on, I know what I'm talking about a little bit by researching it, looking into it. Let's see. Let's find a good thing here, and let's find a good question or story here and check it out and see what I can find out. Let's see. And again, nothing is scripted here. Nothing is pre-planned or anything like that. So I'm just looking. Let's see. Let's go to the first thing on it right here. Black holes are portals to the first dimension. And I don't know exactly what the first dimension is, but It definitely is an interesting theory to think that black holes are wormholes. Hey, Nicole, no worries. Nicole joined the chat. Sorry, I have trouble typing and talking at the same time. So if you hear me quiet for a second, it's because I'm typing. But yes, black holes, there is a lot of theory that they could be wormholes to different dimensions, different parallel universes. And we really don't know too much about black holes to understand what happened. I mean, we can speculate that if our bodies or a spacecraft gets close to it, it's going to stretch out that body or that spacecraft until it's broken apart. Or that's what we've been told. I mean, they could possibly create a black hole, a mini black hole at CERN in Switzerland. And I think they've done that in the past to kind of study the black hole, but there is still a lot that we don't understand. Even on our own planet here, there is parts of our ocean that we don't know what's down there. Take the Mariana Trench, for example. We've only been to a small portion of it, the Challenger Deep. And we've seen some creatures down there, but we don't know what's all down there. We don't know what's all in that trench. Could extinct creatures like Megalodon still be down there? Could the Loch Ness Monster be hiding out somewhere in our world's ocean, and we've never found it in the deepest parts of our world's ocean? So there is a lot on our own planet that we don't understand. So, and yes, we know more about space than we do our own oceans and our own planet. There's some areas that are not in the ocean that we still have yet to discover, yet to find. And I'm sure one day we will figure out something. We'll discover it. But we're always discovering something new to this day. So let's see. Let's click on that. Nicole says, I always wondered about that. But yeah, I think there is a good possibility that black holes are they could be, but who knows? I mean, this person responded to it, says, well, mathematically, black holes crush down to a single point with no dimensions, but I don't fully believe that. There's a lot of empty space in atoms. When those get crushed down to a neutron star, most of that space is squeezed out. At the black hole crossover mass threshold, there's probably a little more space that gets squeezed out. It's a bit unclear how much space there is in between subatomic particles. It is unclear if those subatomic particles could be smashed further to create something else. It would be really neat to watch a neutron star on the edge of the black hole mass threshold to slowly collapse down. The way it would start bending light and be more spectacular, well, at least if there was a star nearby. And the black holes are moving. I think we got one moving to our universe, not our solar system, but our universe, at the center of our galaxy. So I think we do have one headed this way. Nicole says, reminds me of the old TV series, The Land of the Lost. No, not quite. Not for a black hole. Now, as far as discovering something that would take us into maybe I think I had a story on my show's website one time talking about where down in a crevice there was ancient plants that had not been seen since the time of the dinosaurs. So could there actually be a secret area where there are still living dinosaurs? Yes, we're told that they died out in the asteroid that hit the Yucatan Peninsula and sent the Earth into the Dark Ages. But what if they found a safe spot, a dark cave underground? There's always the talk of, well, there's an underworld that people don't know about, and that could be where the dinosaurs live. I don't know if that's ever true, but it would be interesting if something like that did exist. Would I go down there? No. But it would be interesting if there was something like that. Now, again, I'm not saying there is. I'm not saying there isn't. I can't be for certain if there is. And I'm not even going to try to speculate that there is. I could be wrong, though. And there is a lot of theories out there. It's just a matter of finding out if there is any truth to the theories. Just like a lot of people talk about conspiracy theories. People were, some of the things that I've said in the past, said you're just a conspiracy nut. You're crazy. That wouldn't happen. But every conspiracy has some kind of fact to it. And it turns out a lot of them that I talked about actually came true. And they're just not hiding it anymore. Our world's governments, the elitists, they're not hiding those conspiracies anymore. So there are conspiracy facts, but they want to label people like myself that would talk about some strange and unusual stuff that there are theories out there about, and label us as conspiracy nuts to the tinfoil hat wearing people. But a lot of people don't, and I'm not talking about just the elitists and the politicians and the world leaders. I'm talking about people that listen to mainstream media that would call me that. And if you would take time to look into what I'm talking about, if you see me talking about, even like a couple of years ago, I was talking about the cerveza bug and saying, well, this stuff is, masks are not helping, or the vaccines are bad, or something like that. Well, look at it now. It turns out that they're not good. The masks don't work. And this is from their own mouths, the world leaders and the health experts, saying, well, no, they're not good. They don't help. So I was labeled a conspiracy nut back then, but it turns out that it was true. So don't discount everything until you actually have proof that it is false. And if I'm false, please correct me, but do not call me a conspiracy nut if you don't have any information on it. I mean, like I said, I'll admit if I'm wrong. I'll admit if I produced false information. And a lot of people won't do that. Yeah, Nicole says, I'm hard of hearing and can't hear people with their masks. I can't hear them. They almost sound like the Peanuts parents on Charlie Brown and stuff. That's how they sound to me, people wearing masks. It's like I said, but they've been propagandized. They've been led to believe that these masks help, and if you tell a lie long enough, it is more believable. It will become believable. But it's harder to make people believe the truth than it is to believe they're being deceived by a lie. And like I said, they're not hiding it anymore. I mean, look at the World Economic Forum. Look at what they want to do to the people. They don't care about money. They got enough money. They can they care about control. And I'm not going to make this show a political one, but look into it. Look at the Great Reset. Look at what they've said, you'll own nothing and be happy about it. I mean, those are their words, not mine. And this might get my show shut down, but I mean, they're not hiding it anymore. But they don't want the truth getting out there either. They don't want people like myself talking about it to get it out there. But let's get into some other topics as well. And we talked about, matter of fact, after the break, when we come back from the break, we'll do a conspiracy thing. But until then, we're going to try and do a quick question. And before we go to break and see what we can answer. And talking about technology. Now, let's see. Some people prefer to live with less technology in their lives. Can you understand the desire to live a simpler life? Well, technology is hard to get around in this, without technology in this world. It's harder to get around and do things. It's harder to stay in contact with people. There are good sides, upsides, and downsides to every type of technology. Now, are there people that can live out in the middle of nowhere with no electricity, live off the land? Yes, I've seen it. I actually seen some videos of where people have dug their own, dug holes in the ground, made their own home out of digging into the ground and using fire and using nature to build their homes. So yes, it can be done. Can everybody live like that? No. A lot of people are so stuck with technology these days, even me. I mean, to get my word out there, I use technology. And I wish that there were times that I could live out in the middle of nowhere, just because I do find peace and solace out in the country, out in nature, and enjoying the peace and quiet. But at the same time, I would hate to be out there alone. And that's just one thing that if you can stand being out there alone, yeah. But like I said, there are some people, I mean, look at, it wasn't that long back in history that people were living in log cabins, no heating other than fire, chimneys and fireplaces, I should say, not chimneys, fireplaces. candles for electricity to see. It wasn't that long in our own history that we were back then where we were riding around on horses. So it can be done, but we gotten so stuck on technology that I don't think a lot of people know how to live without it. So that's my thoughts on it. But we're going to be right back after the short commercial break with more special Friday night open lines where you can call and share your stories, experiences, or questions about the paranormal. Also, if you're a veteran, be sure to call in and share your stories and experiences. We'll be right back.
Driving rain, found John's out hitting on the liquor gain. 812 late about 10:30 when he let loose for the cat trick. Then it was Sunday. Well, came in morning when he tried to make me pay the rent. Said I ain't got no money if you cannot pay me away with these dancing shoes. Thought I was kidding. Father, what you owe me, I can't count on anymore.
Designed specifically for paranormal investigators, Envoy presents entities with a simple and flexible way to communicate with us. Envoy offers the ability to deliver words, phrases, numbers, emotions, and yes and no answers through a uniquely simple, transparent, and documentable method. Click on the Go Stop banner ad on the Talking at Night website and pick up one this Memorial Day week. Go to spring.com and sign up to create your own design or choose from a design from one of the many creators on there. Spring has ways to integrate your store on social media, custom stores, and they have digital and physical products. While you're there, check out the Talk in the Night merch store. To get started with Spring today, click on the banner ad on the Talk in the Night website. Go to the show's website and click on the links for each of my guests and purchase a book or other product that they may be promoting. Without them, there would be no Talk in the Night. Whether you're interested in the paranormal, conspiracy, technology, health, relationships, or any other topic the show covers, my guests have something for you. Check it out today on talkingthenight.com.
Call my number, call my name. If you wander back again, call my number, call my name.
To call into the show, Skype Talk in the Night or by phone at 817-717-1280. Now back to Talk in the Night with your host, Paranormal Phil.
Okay, and we are back in the second hour of the show. Again, we are open lines this whole show, but if you do want to call and share your stories, experiences, or questions about the paranormal or anything else that the show covers, or if you're a veteran for tonight's show, or somebody in the military and want to share your stories or experiences from your military service, as long as it doesn't cause you any discomfort. I did share mine in the first segment of the show, some of the experiences that I experienced when I was in the military. I do welcome that, or if, like I said, any other topic that the show covers, I do welcome those questions. You can call into the show by using the Skype name, Talk in the Night, or by phone at 817-717-1280, or go over to Spreaker.com, sign up for a free account. It don't cost a thing. You don't have to record anything. When you click on Talking Tonight, click on the live show. Scroll down a little bit. There's a little chat bar. Pop in the chat, say hi, let me know you're listening. Or you can ask your question or share your stories and experiences there as well. If you don't feel like reading them over there or calling in and sharing them that way, you can do it that way. So, also, real quick before I get back into more questions or stories and stuff like that, I do want to mention until Sunday at midnight, Sunday early Monday morning at midnight, there is a 20% off store-wide on the Talking Tonight merch store. If you go to talkingtonight.com, click on the store tab and click on any of the products that you want to get. There's 9 different designs. When you click on and to purchase an item, use Honor22, the code Honor22 at checkout, and you will receive 20% off store-wide on the Talking Tonight merch store. It's only till then. And after that, then it goes back up to regular price. So if you want 20% off Talking Tonight merch store, 9 different designs, go over to the store. Help support the show and support me by purchasing a t-shirt or accessory or drinkware, whatever. Again, 20% off using the code Honor22 at checkout. So let's, since we were talking about conspiracies and talking about the cerveza bug and all that good stuff before the break, let's get into something talking about, because you all heard, I'm sure you all have heard the new thing out there that they're saying is going to wipe out humanity. That's their words. No, I don't know if that's their words, but that's what they're thinking. It's going to wipe out humanity is the whole monkeypox thing. And I think it's basically the same thing as what they did with the cerveza bug. I mean, remember when that came out? It was, it didn't happen in a lab. It came from bats. Then they recanted on that story and said, well, it came out of a lab in China. Then they didn't know where it came from. And now it's been confirmed that the virus came from a lab in Wuhan, China. I mean, they can't, if you tell a lie, it's harder to tell a lie and keep up that lie because that story gets changed over time. But if you tell the truth and stick to the truth, that story never changes. Now, people might embellish their truth a little bit, but if you stick to the truth, it will stay there. But if you tell a lie, it's harder and harder as time goes on to keep up with that lie. But yeah, like I said, remember when everything started out? Well, it was the bats in a wet market. Turns out that wasn't true. But everybody believed that lie because it was told enough through mainstream media. And yes, more and more people are starting to wake up to the BS. But like I said, they can't let a good crisis go to waste. Rob Emanuel and other politicians said, we can't let a good crisis go to waste. Nicole says, I thought someone kissed a monkey. Wow. Don't give them no ideas. They might use that. But let's go to that paranormalist.com website, and under the COVID-19 form. And I don't want to say that too often because the algorithms will pick that up and they'll say that I'm providing false information when I'm not putting down any medical advice. I'm not telling anybody what to believe, and I don't know all the answers, so I'm not saying that what I'm talking about is fact. So I'm just putting out my opinion, my speculation, unless I have fact. So it says, is monkeypox the new cerveza bug? Or the C19, for those that don't know what the cerveza bug is. Have you seen this in the news? Gotta say, I have read a couple articles, don't know much about it. Authorities seem kind of concerned over how cases are popping up here and there across the globe. Should we be concerned? Is something coming? I've even seen someone say the GLP that monkeypox is the next and final step of the New World Order's total domination plan. What do you think? What do I think? I think it's ways to keep us divided and keep us fighting amongst each other. Again, look at the Great Reset. Look at the World Economic Forum. They're not hiding what they want to do. They want to bring the population down to almost zero, basically. I think there are over like maybe 8 billion people on this planet. And if the Georgia Guidestones are anything to be what they might be going after, or modeling after, I should say, the first commandment on the Georgia Guidestones is to keep the population down to 500 million in balance in accordance with nature. And yes, they want their lives spared, but they don't want anybody else to have a life, basically, and without them controlling them. And it's all about control for these people. That they can't get enough of it. And the more we allow it, the more they're going to keep putting out this monkeypox. Or remember when they said, well, now it's the giant hornets. I mean, they put out all these little things to try and scare us. And again, we're starting to wake up, but there are people to this day that still believe the first thing, that it came from bats. Believe it or not, there are people that still think that the cerveza bug, the C19 virus, came from bats. I mean, they were propagandized so much and told the lies so much in mainstream media that they believed it. And I did a lot of digging down rabbit holes. Again, like I said, I did not watch a lot of mainstream media. I didn't follow what they were saying or believe everything they were saying. No, I actually had a conscious mind to look at everything that they were saying and do my own research and look into it for myself. Nicole says, I feel like we're in Hunger Games. Again, don't give them no ideas. I'm sure that they're headed that way with the way prices and inflation are going. That, I mean, inflation has brought up prices on groceries. I mean, yes, I got a big old groceries, well, not full to the brim, but I did have quite a bit of groceries. when I went to the store on the 1st. And I spent almost $400 on groceries. And it wasn't much. It wasn't big. I wasn't buying steaks. I wasn't buying hamburger meat or chicken. I was buying kind of the essentials that I needed. I did buy some steaks, and that was like $16. But just to get the essentials and have enough groceries to last me the month, except for maybe like if I need milk halfway through the month or something else that I might run out of. Yes, I might have to go back and spend a little bit more, but to get the bulk of groceries to last me, and this was at a Walmart, where prices are cheap, cheaper than normal stores. I spent almost $400, not for a full basket. I mean, I can understand if I had like 2 baskets full, but I had my walker in the basket, and so that took up some space. So again, I did not have from the bottom to the top full, but I did have a lot of groceries in there. And I spent almost $400 on groceries. So yes, they are trying to take us down, I believe, by making the prices go skyrocket. And yes, they want you to believe, well, it's Biden's fault or it's Trump's fault. No, it's both of their faults. It's all the politicians. But they want us fighting amongst each other, whether it's left versus right, black versus white, or any other race. I mean, it's not about that. As human beings, we need to come together and get rid of the evil that is out there. And that is the politicians. They're just puppets on a string. They're being controlled from higher ups. Yes, they're evil just as the higher ups, but they're being controlled by the higher ups. The George Soros, the Klaus Schwab of the Great Reset, the World Economic Forum. Look at who's part of the World Economic Forum. World leaders all across the world. Dignitaries, actors. I know Nicole likes Top Gun. Tom Cruise has, I think, been part of the World Economic Forum. Look at who is taking part in that World Economic Forum, and you can see the evil. But let's look at some of the comments here under that post. It says, it's mainly spreading with post-lockdown orgies because we don't have monkeys on to scratch us directly. Global warming also increases to spread the insects carrying the tropical disease. Again, people are believing the global warming thing. I mean, I want to know, where do you get your information? Do you hear the info? I want to know from anybody that's listening. If you want to call in, again, if I'm wrong, let me know. But I will look at the information and I will and find out. I will continue to look and seek out the truth. But they don't want us. They want us fighting amongst each other because rather than them take us out, which they are doing anyways with the inflation and gas prices and everything else, they want us fighting amongst each other because pick a side. You choose which side you want when we should be choosing ourselves as individuals and doing what's right for us. Now, I get it. Talking about the gun debate, I mean, think about it. They don't want anybody to own guns but themselves. but they don't. There are people out there that are good people that own guns, but they don't want nobody. And do you think actually gun owner or criminals are going to abide by the laws that they put out there? No, they're not. How you think Nazi Germany took place? The head of the Nazi Party slowly took away the rights and the guns, and that's how they were able to control us. Or that's how they were able to control the people in Nazi Germany, is they slowly took away the rights, and that's what's happening to us. Again, I don't want to get too much into the thing, and Nicole asked the question, is that it's like, what are they preparing us for? Again, I would look into the Great Reset. Just type in Google, the Great Reset. Type in the World Economic Forum. Watch some of the videos and listen to what they say. And they'll tell you exactly what they're preparing us for. So, again, I don't want to get too much into the conspiracy thing, just because I've only covered 3 things in the show, besides me talking about my military service. So I don't want to cover too much on that. But let's go let's find a relationship one. Let's go into that. Let's lighten up some things here a little bit. Let's see. Again, I don't prepare for anything, so I'm looking through the questions or stories, and I will go from there. Let's see. Wait, no, I think I did that one already. Let's go to page 2 of this. And this is from siteforums.com, just so that I give them credit where I'm getting the information from. So that way you can look it up for yourself and know that I'm telling you that what I'm reading on my computer is what I'm seeing. I'm not making this stuff up. Again, if you do want to call and ask your question, again, do that, or pop in the chat, ask your questions there. Let's go with this one. Bad breakup, because it looks short, kind of short. And this is on page 2 of siteforums.com/relationship/topic to so forth. My story is long and complicated. I'm a gay man. I have been in a pretty toxic relationship for 4 years. A lot of bad things have happened, and we have had a lot of breakups and makeups. We just had a breakup a week ago. This one seems different in a few ways, but seems the same in other ways. We block each other in every way. He started texting me a few days later, like unusual, being mean, mad because he heard that I had made plans to leave the state for a while. Then silence. The thing is, I still love him and want him back, to be back with him, my toxic trait, I know. So I let my emotions get the best of me and text him and email him. Today I called him from a text app, and he hung up but then called me right back. The conversation did not go well. He told me that he didn't love me and hate me, and that he didn't want to talk to me right now. He makes sure that I know that he isn't seeing anyone. As a matter of fact, he told me that he was with my cousin when I questioned him, but he told me that he used to love me, but just don't now. I want to be with him. I feel like I'm dying inside. Any help to deal with this? And I know I shouldn't care, but I do and can't seem to get over my feelings. Now, I've seen this a lot from different people. And if you're allowing yourself to be in a toxic relationship, you're not doing yourself good. No matter whether you're straight, gay, whatever. I mean, you're doing, or a friendship even. If you're allowing yourself to stay in a toxic relationship, you're doing yourself no justice. I mean, yes, people do have fights. That's a no-brainer there. That happens. But when it's constant, when the person is a narcissistic person or has toxic traits, it's time to walk away. Think of yourself and how you would want to be treated. And say, am I being treated the way I want to be treated? Am I treating that person the way I would want to be treated? And if the answer is no, walk away. Simple as that. I mean, move on. There are other people that might have that love for you, that passion for you, and might be right for you. But you'll never know if you continue with staying with the person that has a toxic trait. I've learned it the hard way myself. From relationships to friendships, I've had to walk away because I can't do that. I would never treat them that way, and I don't want to be treated that way. So I walk away. And I get myself, and yes, they tell me, oh, I'm the bad person. Well, no, I'm not the bad person. You are for treating me horribly. So again, if you do have somebody that is putting out those toxic vibes, those traits, you see the red flags, listen to your gut and walk away. Again, there's always somebody else out there that's going to treat you right. And not everybody's going to be right for you. You've heard the thing, well, there's always a soulmate out there. I mean, yes, there could be. I don't know if that's true or not. I've never found it. But I thought I did in the past. But I was wrong. But again, I saw the red flags. I saw the bad, toxic nature of the person, whether they were narcissistic or just bad for me, or they cheated on me or lied to me. I walked away because I was like, I'm not going to put up with that. I'm not going to treat you that way, and I don't expect you to treat me that way. And that's it. I walk away. So, again, for somebody like that, I would not. What I do is I try to give everybody one chance. You screw me over once, shame on me. Screw me over once, shame on you. If you screw me over twice, shame on me. I try not to give you that second time, but I do try to give you one chance, but I don't give you a third chance. Because I feel that if I give you a third chance, you're going to keep doing it until it becomes the death of me, basically, to where I don't see no way out. And I don't want to hit that point. So I try to, if I think I can give you a second chance, I will. But if not, I'm walking away after the first time. Especially if the person cheats on you or lies to you, I'm walking away. You don't get a second chance there. If it's like an argument, yeah, I might give you a second chance. But if you cheat or lie to me or steal from me, you don't get a second chance. So that's my thoughts on that. So we'll be right back after the short commercial break, the last commercial break of the night. But we'll be back with more Friday Night Open Lines where you can call in, share your stories, experiences, or questions about the paranormal or anything else that the show covers. We'll be right back.
Waiting since you left, images that haunt me. The ghost of you still haunts me. Is there any way I can make this pain go away? This could end me. This could end me. This could end me.
Do you need music for your radio show, podcast, or YouTube channel but need a music license to play it on your show? Well, go to artlist.io and check out the plans they have. They have 3 plans to choose from: personal, unlimited, and enterprise. All the music that you hear on the show is from Artlist, and there is a banner ad on the show's website. Check it out today. Do you love the strange, unusual, and weird unexplained mysteries? Do you like reading about the paranormal and other happenings? Well, I have the website for you, unexplainedmysteries.com. On there you will find so much such as the latest news and articles, forums, news with video, and so much more. That's unexplained-mysteries.com, or you can click on the banner ad on the show's website to take you right there. Do you love history? Do you wonder what happened on this day in history? Well, check out history.com/this day in history and find out what happened on this day in recorded history. You can also click on the image on the Talk of the Night website under This Day in History and check out one of the many things that happened. The show's website lists a different event in history every day, so check it out today.
I signed my name on a dotted line and it was good, good, good. The cows got milked at supper time and it was good, good, good. The moon twinkled high in the southern sky and it was good, good, good. Now the honeymoon's over, it just up and died, but it was good, good, good. All the good times.
To call into the show, Skype Talk in the Night or by phone at 817-717-1280. Now back to Talk in the Night with your host, Paranormal Phil.
Okay, and we are in the last segment of the show tonight, where you can call in, share your stories, experiences, or questions about the paranormal or anything else that the show covers. Also, if you are a veteran or somebody in the military service and want to share your stories, experiences, just make sure that you don't share any classified information with me. Excuse me. Didn't mean to burp on the air. But anyways, do not share any classified information. Do not share any information that you would feel uncomfortable talking about, like something that would draw out your PTSD, especially if you've been in combat. But share your good times if you want. I did share some of my stories in the first segment of the show, talking about some of the wrestling matches that we've been to, some of the ports that I've been to, some of the experiences being overseas. I shared a scary one where a missile came back at me during a test fire. But I didn't share a lot of information that I thought I was going to share because I just didn't want to talk about it. and didn't feel like talking about it. But if you do want to talk about it, use this. You can call into the show using the Skype name Talking the Night, or by phone at 817-717-1280, or go over to Spreaker.com, sign up for a free account. It don't cost a thing. You don't have to record anything. When you click on Talking the Night, click on the live show, scroll down a little bit. There's a chat bar. You can join the discussion. Say hi. Let me know you are listening. If you are listening to this recorded, then feel free to leave a message. I will get back to you afterwards. But do not call after the show is over, because I will not answer the call. It goes through my computer and Skype. If I'm not live, I don't answer Skype. Whether it's the Skype name or the number, I don't answer it. I've gotten too many scam calls through even the Skype number, so I don't answer it. I'm not answering it no more unless I'm live. So let's get into this last segment. Also, before we get more into this last segment here, I do want to mention again, you have until Sunday at midnight, Sunday early Monday at midnight to, and I'm talking midnight Central Time. I might give it till the Monday morning. I don't know when. I think it's supposed to end at midnight Central Time for the 20% off store-wide over on the Talking Night merch store. If you go to talkingthenight.com and click on the store tab, you can click on any of the products on there, the 9 different designs. And when you purchase the thing at checkout, use the promo code HONOR22 at checkout to get 20% off of t-shirts, drinkware, accessories, home decor, all that good stuff. Again, 9 different designs. Now, real quick before I do go on, and I will mention it at the end of the show as well, too. If you notice, if you've gone over to talkingthenight.com, you notice there is no show listed for next week. Is because next week I do have a couple of doctor's appointments, one of them being physical therapy, and I've been having trouble with my legs, so I do want to get that checked out and see what's happening with my body. Because even sitting here right now, I'm having trouble sitting here for the 2 hours. So there is no show listed for next week. I might record one show for later on, but sometime during the week, and I will put something up there soon. But I don't know if I am or not. There might not even be a show at all, not even rebroadcast. Normally I would do rebroadcast, but I need to worry about my health first so I can make sure that I am good enough to do the show for you and bring these shows and these guests to you. So I might actually take, I was thinking about it. I was thinking about actually taking the month of June off to have a vacation time. And I know I just started in March. But with my health, like I said, my health is important. And I want to be able to be healthy enough to bring you these shows. I almost didn't want to do tonight's show, but I was like, no, I already scheduled it. I already posted about it. I said, no, I got to do this show at least. So, again, stay tuned to the show's website to find out what's coming on, and also all the social media sites. And I will mention that at the end of the show. So let's go over to AskMeHelpDesk.com and let's find a question there or a story there. And I'm going to scroll down. I'm actually going to go to another page and see if I can find something different, because I think I've gone through quite a bit of the first page in the past and see what answered this. Okay, this is on the second page of the Help Me, AskMeHelpDesk.com under mythological and folklore under society. And it says, wow, so I really asked that question. Again, this is not scripted. So what I read is, or what I see is right off the top of the thing. I don't script my answers. I don't pre-read the answers or the questions beforehand, I should say. And so what I see is what you get. And somebody really asked this question. If you're old enough, you remember the whole owl in the Tootsie Roll, Tootsie Pop question. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? If you're old enough, you remember that commercial. But it says below that, so there have been unexplained heart attacks. Well, how many and where they are from you healthy people or old unhealthy people? I don't know. So I really never took the time to actually look at Tootsie Pop and see how many licks it took to get to the center, because as the commercials say, 1, 2, 3, crunch, 3. So who knows? Let's go down a little bit and go to this one. It says, might dragons exist? Now, I do have a fascination with wolves. I do have a fascination with mystical creatures like dragons. And yes, I think in some part, I mean, look at Chinese history and they're talking about dragons. Medieval times are talking about dragons. I think in a sense they do exist. I think that they are possibly extraterrestrial in nature, and that's what they got their idea in ancient times that those were dragons. So that's a possibility. But let's read what the question says. Does anyone believe they might have exist? It's strange because there are legends of them everywhere, including places that never came into contact. And as fanciful as it sounds, don't you think that it might be possible? Although there is the wizard's first rule, people will believe anything they want to believe or fear to believe. Zed. Again, and I was talking about dinosaurs earlier, and talking about could they still exist? There is old photos of a group of men in the 1800s, I believe it was, that killed and captured. I can't remember if that photo was fake or not. I would have to look into it. But where they killed and captured a pterodactyl. And could those have been still around in medieval times or times when dragons were more talked about? Could those have been what they thought were dragons? Pterodactyls still living on this earth, and they thought they were dragons. Could be. I mean, it would make sense. I mean, they're a winged bird, a giant bird at that, from the prehistoric time, but could they have still existed in the 1400s and 1500s when medieval times, the ancient medieval people were still around? Could it still have been there? Could it have been before then? Yes, quite possible that those creatures could have still survived to that day. Do they exist to this day? I don't think so. Unless, like I said, they're living in an underworld cavern or something like that. or on a mysterious island that nobody lives on. Could be inside a volcano, ancient volcano. Could be. Who knows? Again, I don't know. But look at the Loch Ness Monster. People believe that it is a Platysaurus, I believe is the correct pronunciation of it. A waterland type dinosaur. Think about a brontosaurus, but with fins for water. Could that be the Loch Ness Monster? Could that be an ancient dinosaur that still hides out in the loch in Scotland? Or maybe there's been reports that there are underground caverns that lead out to the ocean. Could it be living part-time in the loch, part-time out in the deepest parts of the ocean, where we, again, don't know a lot about that? I mean, again, there are so much. And looking at one of the replies, it says, I think the belief in dragons came from the finding of dinosaur bones. And that could be also a possibility too. People didn't know what those were. They had no way to understand that the bones were from dinosaurs were actually dinosaurs. They had no way to analyze them. So yeah, it's quite possible. I got people outside playing music. It's like, really, do you not see the sign that says live on air, please do not disturb? But it is a Friday night. So again, it could be the dinosaur bones that they discovered and thought they came from dragons, from tails. Could it be pterodactyls? Could it be just myths that were passed down from generation to generation? Neolithic people and thought, okay, those are maybe there were some types of prehistoric creatures around then, and it just got passed down from generation to generation, and that's how they came to talking about dragons. Again, I can only speculate. So I would love to hear your thoughts on it. You can leave a comment in the chat live, or you can leave it if after the show is live in the chat in the messages, and let me know what you think. Do you think dragons still exist, or did exist, I should say? Or do you think they still do exist, I should say, too? I mean, possibility. I would love to hear your thoughts on it. All right, so we got about 12 minutes left in the show. So let's go back here. We're going to stay on the Ask Me Help desk, but we're going to get away from the mythological and folklore, because I do want to see what else is on this, because that's the only one I've really clicked on this website. Under, like I said, under society and cultures, where that mythology and folklore is. But I want to see, actually, let's go on to history.com, because if you go on to the Talking Tonight website, talkingtonight.com, if you scroll down near the bottom on the left-hand side of the page, you'll see This Day in History story. And again, I mentioned that I will not be on next week, but the website will stay up to date with new stories of the day, new This Day in History. So I will keep it up to date. But you can look at This Day in History, things that happened in This Day in History. Let's scroll down and see what we can find here. Let's see. How to delete history. What is history? Let's click on this. What is history? What is history? It is our past. Even yesterday is history. Yesterday is our history. So there is always history happening. I mean, 1 minute ago, that was history. If you think about it, that was traveling and looking into the past, basically. But no, not time travel or anything. But we did even 1 second ago is 1 second in the in our history, and history is all around us. Whether it's 1 second, 1 millisecond, or maybe it's 100,000 years, it's always history. And that is what history is. It's not what you do in school, learn in school. It's not what you learn. Well, it is what you learn in school, and it is what you learn as like archaeologists do out learning about the pyramids in Egypt or something like that. They're looking into history, but it's always history. It's our past. That's what history is our past. Whether, again, 1 second or $100,000 years in the past, it's still history. So there's so much out there. So that was a pretty simple, easy question. Let's see if we can find another one. Just because we got 9 minutes left in the show, and I'll wait till about another 4 minutes before I mention about the future of the show and everything like that and what's coming up. Talked about health and wellness earlier. Let's see. Astronomy. Let's click on that. Again, a lot of this stuff I don't have a lot of knowledge on, but I do have a little bit of knowledge. So I'll try to answer it the best that I can. If I'm wrong, again, let me know in the comments down below. Oh, this is interesting. So this person asked the question, on a scale of 1 to 10, how afraid would you be if a meteor destroyed Earth tomorrow? I want to know on a scale how scared you would be if Earth was going to be destroyed by a meteor, and please explain. And somebody comment 0. I wouldn't be scared. I'd contact as many friends and family members as I could to let them know I love them, to say goodbye. For me, I probably wouldn't be scared either. I'd probably be like Woody Harrelson's character in 2012, that movie, where he's standing on the edge of Yellowstone Caldera's volcano and watching it explode. If it destroyed the Earth, there ain't much you could do. If there was no way for it to stop it, there ain't much you can do. So I would pretty much go out with a bang. I would find the closest spot to it, and I would film it and watch it. Not that anybody's going to really see the film, because if I'm that close, nobody's going to find the film. But maybe for some odd reason, it gets lucky and the film survives for ancient, or not ancient, so future civilizations. Maybe people survive, or maybe by some miracle survive, or maybe there's alien life that comes to this planet and tries to repopulate and finds it. But I would not be scared. I would, again, like I said, I would go out with a bang and sit on the edge of where it's close to hitting, or as close as I could get to it, and watch it happen. I'd probably even broadcast like Woody Harrelson's character in the movie 2012. I'd be on the edge of the area and watch it happen. Now, would I be on the edge of Yellowstone Caldera watching that explode? No. Because there is a chance that people can survive from that. And yes, there is a chance of survival from a meteor. But if I knew for a fact, even if it was Yellowstone, and I knew for a fact there was a chance that no one would survive, I would be broadcasting from that spot. Call me crazy, yes, but that's what I would be doing. So I do want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want to thank everybody that participated this week in the shows as far as veterans go, to help out veterans. And if you know a veteran, tell them to tune in to any of the shows this week, that it might help them out. And if you do have a message or anything like that, leave it in the comments on the show, and I'll look at it. If it's a question, I will try to answer it the best I can. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Again, next week I will not be on the air because of 2 doctor's appointments that are in the afternoon. I probably wouldn't get back in time. And I don't know how I'm going to feel after Tuesday's physical therapy with my legs the way they've been at. So I don't want to chance anything. I want to take my health with serious consideration. And so there will be no show next week. Now, I might, again, record maybe an hour show to be posted. I won't be live. But, again, stay tuned to the website or all the social media sites. You can follow the show on all the social media sites such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Discord, YouTube, even LinkedIn. Although LinkedIn, it's not Talking the Night there. It's just my regular name. So mainly Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Discord, and YouTube. You can find out there, or go to talkingthenight.com and you can find out about if I do decide to record a show there. Also, again, till Sunday at midnight, I think Central Time is when it'll end. Midnight at Central Time on Sunday, early Monday. You have till then to go to the Talking the Night merch store and get 20% off of store-wide by using the code HONOR22 in honor of Memorial Day, which was Monday. And I'm giving that to everybody that tunes into the show. So use the code HONOR22 at checkout and get 20% off of Talking the Night merch store. Help me with the show and help support the show by purchasing a t-shirt, drinkware, anything like that. And again, thank you for tuning in and listening to the show. And until I broadcast once again, which I don't know when, live again, I should say, I shall see you on the dark side. Good night from Talking the Night.
It's late at night. Darkness has fallen. Turn on the radio, and you hear him talking. Listening to what he has to say, all about paranormal and all of the things. When he sounds off, you can hear